Okay. See if anybody comes in. I'm still learning this program, and I'm on a new computer, and I don't know if it's working. So I need to go live to see if it's working. See if anybody comes in. Okay, so there's one person in. Do me a favor, please post a comment or come in. Hey, Mike, I'm testing the MSI. That's why I came live. So, hey, Matt, come on in. Come on into the basement. Hey, James. So, James, you want to try it? You want to try it? Just come on into the basement. Somebody come in because I'm on my other computer and I don't know how it's working. So I need some feedback. Can you hear the audio? Does the visual? Okay, Mike, you say it looks good. Does it look better than the other one? I think it does. For some reason, I don't know why, but somebody come in. James, come on in. Somebody come in. I really don't have a lot to talk about. I'm just testing my computer. Oh, okay. Sorry about that, Matt. Duh. Okay, there's the link. The sound is better, Mike? Okay, that's good. Yeah, I knew that my other computer was not that good, but it was the only one that worked. But Mike Stupid Fast helped me with this. What's going on? Nothing much. Just testing out my new computer. Mike Stupid Fast Truck hit me up on Instagram, and he helped me figure out why my camera and my mic wasn't working in my new computer. And he helped me get it working. So now it's working. And
That's good.
It appears to be better than my other one. James, I just posted the link. It's there if you want to try it. But you know what?
It's funny. No, go ahead.
No, I'm looking at the glare on my glasses. You guys see that? I'm going to try a different. I can't see shit without my glasses, let me tell you.
Do you have prescription sunglasses?
No.
Yeah, see, you can still see the glare off your glasses if you have like sunglasses or something. Since it is Smokey's Lightning, you might as well have some Smokey sunglasses.
Yeah, right. I'm the only guy I noticed. You don't have that with your glasses.
Underfed Coyote, what's up? Because I'm always doing mine from my phone, not my laptop. That's why.
These glasses don't do it, but these aren't the right magnifications. These are 1.5, and I need 2.
Go get some Walmart readers. That's all you really need.
Yeah, I can get by with these. I gotta get a little closer. You see that? So, so Fran, what's going on, man? James, you gonna come in? The link is right there. Fran,
I want to get Fran on here. I've never seen Fran on a live stream, man. Come on, Underfed, get up in here.
Yeah, come on. Fran.
Gotta do it first, man. Oh, that's taken by James.
Oh, come on, James. Fran, come in. Come on, Fran.
Watch, Fran's gonna say I'm in the middle of drag racing right now. I'm about to kick somebody's ass.
Okay, come in for just a minute, James, because this is what that's why I'm testing this, because we're gonna do this, you and I, whenever the first chance you get. We're hoping for Sunday night is when James and I are potentially going to try to do this.
Racing tomorrow, nice.
Fran, you gonna come in? Come on, man.
No, he's watching TV with the family right now.
Oh, all right. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, God, I would kill to be in Vegas right now with my car. Anywhere south of the freaking middle of the country. Just get me there.
You're in. How's the weather in Chicago? Okay, here's James. Let me bring him in. Come on, James.
Hey.
So James, are you on this one computer?
I'm
I
sorry?
wait. I'm getting a lot of feedback.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
feedback just started showing up all of a sudden.
Well, that's from you, Jay.
It could be me. I'm on my cell phone here. It's been a long day. I got to get up early tomorrow. We got a 3-hour drive, and I still got a couple hours worth of files to get out tonight. So, I don't have a whole lot of time here. I was just finishing up dinner here before I get back to work. So
Okay.
I just figured I'd log in for a minute. What's that?
The life of a tuner.
Yeah, dude, it's been crazy.
Well, James,
Look on my Facebook page. It'll probably be a few days before I get to post it, but in a few days I'll have a pretty interesting post. I did a retune on a Coyote with cams, and it turned out really well.
Nice.
So,
I'm sorry I didn't come in. James, it must be you. I think you got the Smoke Lightning page open.
what's that?
If you got the
It's
Smoke
weird.
Lightning page open, you can get that feedback.
Well, that's the thing is I don't know how to get rid of that on my.
What's weird is that when he talks, there's no feedback.
How about that?
That's even weirder.
It's still there, James. The audio is coming through StreamYard and YouTube, so you gotta shut YouTube off.
I've got the volume on my phone as far down as I can make it.
No, not the phone. You have your browser open and have the page open.
Yeah, no, I just shut down the YouTube app on my phone, so that shouldn't be doing it.
Okay.
I'm not hearing whatever you're talking about.
Yes, weird. When he talks, there's no feedback. But with me and you, Al, there is now. But I bet if he ducked out, if it would still be the same. That's weird.
Yeah, I'll duck out. Of course, I closed out of the YouTube app, so I don't know if I can get back in.
Are you on your phone doing this?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the big difference is the other day I was on my laptop. So we do this for real. It'll be on my laptop.
See, I noticed that the video is very much better with the phone as compared to the laptop.
Yeah. It could be the lighting too. So I tell you what, let me shut down here. It's about time for me to get back to work. So just give me a couple minutes here. I'm going to get myself a drink and I'll go into the other room and power up the laptop.
Hey,
I'll
James,
try and jump back in.
Okay,
somebody
James.
asked real quick, do you do remote tunes?
Yes, depending on the application and whatever, but yeah. Yeah, I
Okay,
do.
stupid fast truck ad.
Yeah. I've done stupid fast trucks too. Yeah. So I did a twin turbo SRT Ram that made 970 something to the wheels. That was a while ago, but that one was stupid fast.
Oh, you're in Florida, that's right.
Yeah.
So
All
when you
right.
do
Well,
your
let me
Hold on,
duck out here.
Yeah.
are you gonna
I'll,
come back in?
Like I said, I'll try and come back in on the laptop here in a couple minutes.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye, James. See you later.
So now, see, now he left, and now the feedback's gone.
So it's something with him.
Yeah.
He's going to come on with the laptop, and we'll see. Last time we had him here, he was at the dyno shop where he's using a DSL. So that might have contributed to his video being so poor. We'll see. He said he's going to power up the laptop now in his house and see if that improves things and gets rid of the echo and all of that.
So I got a letter in the mail today from Ford for the GT500 Track Attack.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So basically, when you buy a 500, you get a free 1-day session at the Charlotte road course, where you get to drive their 500s on the drag strip and the road course.
Nice.
Yeah. And then they have an optional day 2, which is what I'm really intrigued in. But see, the first day is free. That comes with buying the car. Day 2 is optional. You have to pay for it. And there's 2 choices. There's a $1,300 package and a $1,600 package. And they both involve driving the same car, which is Ford's factory race car, which is the fully roll caged, 1 seat in the car, stick shift race car. You obviously have to prove that you can drive a stick shift, which I'm not worried about that. And the $1,300 package gets you the Michelin Pilot 4S's. The $1,600 gets you the Michelin Sport Cup 2 tires on the car. And for that money, you get 4 25-minute sessions on the track. And that's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It's like I feel like I have to do it,
Yeah, it is. That is a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
Especially if I could get it on, get my phone on the suction cup on the windshield and record that. Oh my God, that would be so cool with video.
Yeah. So it looks like you and I, Mike, Matt, are the only ones in here right now. So we're the only ones in here. Mike, Stupid Fast, had to leave, and James is going to come back. He wants to test his laptop. See if that.
Oh yeah, he did. Okay, Stupid Fast Truck. I don't know if he's still here, but take it easy, SFT. See, a lot of people don't know about your second channel. That's why a lot of people don't know it when you pop up on a stream like this.
Yeah, I don't really expect too many people to come in. I figure you're going to come in. Desmond might come in. There's a few people that are watching now that know that I do this, but this is only a test. I'm having to get a little bit more acclimated with the StreamYard. And Mike Stupid Fast really helped me the day before yesterday, because I got the computer I'm on now is way better than my other one, and the camera wouldn't work. I couldn't get the camera to connect. So Mike,
weird. It's like everybody always says that, because Northern Mustangs, you know who Northern Mustangs is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he sent me a text tonight, and he's like, "Dude, you really need to get the upgraded StreamYard package and go live more often." He said his wife commented about how I have great lighting and the personality and whatever, something else was really good on it. And I'm like, it's funny because if you could see my lighting, here's my lighting. Hold on. My lighting is that lamp right there that's got 3 angle heads. So I've got one shining on me, one shining on the poster, and the other one just straight up in the air. It's too funny.
Hey, if it works.
It does. It works well.
Yeah, no, it really does. I've noticed that. Like I said, that the last time we were live, your clarity was better than everybody's.
And I'm just going for my cheap Samsung Galaxy S phone, or as G-Funk likes to call it, my Sam Dung phone.
Yeah. Well, it works good, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. Exactly.
In the case of this computer, what Mike found out was that the camera was intentionally shut off. On this computer, you have to press one of the keys, I think F5 or F6, like you hit Fan and F6 to turn the camera on, because that's like a safety device. Because and I personally had this problem where malware got into my computer. They photographed me through the camera and then sent me a malware page saying that the FBI is going to come to my house.
What?
And it scared the living daylights out of me. And I'm like, what is this? The picture that it took of me, I'm just sitting here like this, browsing, and they're telling me I've been on suspicious pages and things like that, and that the FBI is on the way.
Oh, that's a scam. They're just trying to get money out of you.
So we browsed for it. We found that it was malware. So back then, this was like 2010, and it said this page that we went to said that I had to get Malwarebytes in order to get rid of this. Malwarebytes is a program, and malware program. So we went and we uploaded to Malwarebytes, free version at first, and then it completely took away the malware. And then I got a lifetime membership with that Malwarebytes. Right, as long as I have that code, every time I can get a new computer, I can load Malwarebytes, and I don't have to pay for it.
Oh, okay.
It was like $50 in 2010. I have it forever. So with that, it's like now they got computers that have safety devices that shut your camera off. So this was I didn't know how to turn it on. And Mike found out about it. I gave him the model number of my computer. He browsed for it. And then the first thing that came up was how to turn the computer on, turn the camera on. Because everybody was complaining, how do you turn the camera on? You know, and it's like he said, you got to press fin and another one, I think F6 or something. Immediately, I turned the camera on. Now it works perfectly. And
Now, when you're talking about Mike, are you talking about Super Fast Truck?
Mike's Stupid Fast Truck. Yeah, that's his first.
Okay. That's what I thought. Man, there's so many Mikes. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, but Mike,
Mustang Mike, Next Gen, MJI 83 GT, they're all Mikes.
Yeah, well, that make it easy for me to remember because I forget everybody's name. You know, but as far as I can see, just look, the reason why I did the stream was to test this computer. I don't have a lot of light in here. I have a light right there.
Yeah.
And in the hallway right in front of me is a hi-hat that casts a little bit of light this way. And you can see there's not a lot of light here, but it does. I on my other computer, I had to bring the computer up here just to get close enough to, you know, instead of looking like I'm way back here, you know.
Yeah.
Just sitting in my lap, and I'm closer. So the magnification on this computer is better. And I see the picture is better too, so I'm kind of glad. And Mike said that the audio was better too.
Oh yeah, the audio sounds good. I bet you if you had literally one of these, this light's like probably a $30 light at Walmart, but with the adjustable heads, you could probably make your lighting a world better.
Yeah, if I had one of those, I could point it that way and have it reflect back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try another audio thing, just to get your feedback, because this is why I did this. I'm gonna put my headset on.
It's too funny too, because I get made fun of because of my we'll call it the Listerine studio. You know about that, right?
No, but that sounds funny. Hey, listen, man, if it works, it works.
Yeah.
Hold on. I got this mic in now. Does this sound any better or any different?
Sounds the exact same.
It sounds the same?
Exact same.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, so if it sounds the same, I don't want this thing in my ear. You know? This is what I use for my iPhone. A lot of times when I'm talking on the phone, I don't want to be holding the phone, so it's got the little adapter.
Yeah.
Because it comes with.
I've got two phones basically. I've got one phone right now that's sitting up against a Colgate Total bottle. That's the one you see me on, and then the other one is my wife's phone, which is standing up against the Listerine bottle to see the chat.
Hey, James is here. He's back.
There
All
you
right,
go.
James.
Yeah. Please excuse my appearance. I live in Florida. I haven't had my hair cut in a while, and I was on a dyno all day.
Say something.
I should have come out there.
See, now it's good. Now there's no feedback going either way. Once you got on, you're on your laptop now, James?
Yeah, I'm on my laptop.
See, that was the difference probably.
The video is not as good. So if you could tilt your laptop down to center yourself in the frame. And
honestly, though, his situation is probably just like yours. And James, I was showing Al this a second ago. The reason why my lighting is so good is I have one of these $30 cheap Walmart lamps that's got those 3 adjustable heads. And literally, if you put them in the that gets you.
Think of it. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, well, he might have one.
No, but
that's too funny. Al, you know what else I was going to suggest too? If you plan on doing these streams frequently, you should literally get one of these things made. They're like $44 vinyl poster or vinyl banners, and have it hanging behind you of your car.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
My thing right now is I'm all over the place. I'm actually in our spare room right now. We got a new cat, and she's hiding under the bed. She's terrified. She's borderline feral, and so I've been sleeping in the guest room here. We keep them. We have a bunch of cats, and anytime we get a new one, we keep them separate from the rest of the house. And so we bring in a couple of our normal cats and whatever. So I kind of set up a makeshift home office in the guest room literally on the bed so that I can work from home and get the new cat used to me and everything.
That's
So-
funny. Al was saying you got like 13 cats.
Yeah, this makes 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got
So-
one, and I feel like that's one too many.
Come in. Come here. Come on.
Somebody else is watching. If there's somebody else out there, just post a comment or come into the basement.
This is Dublin.
Oh, nice. How do you remember the names of 13 cats? Oh my goodness.
Well, she likes to name the cats after places she'd like to visit. I like to name the cats after racetracks.
I knew it. I knew something
No.
was coming like that.
So
Come here,
we've got a Monza, Austin. God, I can't remember. Oh, we've got a Sochi. They've got a Formula One track in Sochi, Russia.
Wow.
So we've got a
Are
bunch
any of
of
them
them.
named after NASCAR tracks like Charlotte, Richmond, anything like that?
Not typically,
Bristol?
no. No.
Those-
Yeah,
Never even
no.
thought about that. Those are probably pretty good cat names. You got Bristol, Charlotte, Richmond, stuff like that.
Yeah, those aren't bad. Those
Yeah.
aren't bad.
Bristol's good.
We've got a Maine Coon that it was funny. She goes, "Oh well, Ripley is a city in Maine, so we should name the cat Ripley." So I sent her back a picture of Ripley from Alien. And Ripley was holding her cat. And she goes, "Oh yeah, what was that cat's name? Jones." So his name is Ripley Jones.
When you said Ripley, the first thing that came to my mind was the old TV show Ripley's Believe It or Not. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
It's too
We
funny.
got-
If you wanna just briefly talk about some kind of script or something that you and I could talk to each other about while we're waiting for questions to come in, because sometimes if there isn't any questions coming from the audience, it's just me talking to you. You know,
Right.
I'm doing a video on that Koenigsegg,
Okay.
and since you were with SCP when the tune file was being written for the Koenigsegg or any Koenigsegg for that matter, that would make for good conversation between you and I. You know,
Yeah.
any knowledge that you have of the Koenigsegg, like you were talking about where they were putting the throttle bodies, like they were putting the throttle bodies in front of the turbos or something.
Yeah, that was really interesting. What they did, if you have so one of the tuning problems that you run into with superchargers, you got two different kinds of superchargers. You got a centrifugal supercharger, and then you got a roots or a positive displacement supercharger, right? So on a positive displacement supercharger, the throttle body goes before the supercharger. The supercharger sits right on top of the intake manifold.
Yep.
Makes it really nice. It's the correct way to do things. A lot of these centrifugal superchargers, they're cool. Technically, they are more efficient. If you know, I work with Stida, and I've talked with Dario a few times, and Dario's big on the efficiency of centrifugal superchargers, right?
Yeah.
So him and I discussed this, and he's like, "Well, centrifugal." And I'm like, yes, you're right. Centrifugal is more efficient, but packaging is usually the problem. How they configure things. One of my biggest pet peeves with superchargers is blow through mass airs. Blow through mass air systems are wrong. Always have been, always will be.
Matt, do you hear that?
It is.
Do I get any what?
Do you hear the feedback?
I'm hearing some kind of feedback.
No, not right now.
It almost sounds like background. Like somebody got the TV on in the
Yeah, it's
background.
my wife. Hey, honey, can you turn that down a little bit?
Sorry to interrupt you, James, but this
Yeah.
is where we're here.
Hold on
Okay.
one sec. I'll get it turned down.
That's probably what it was. So go ahead, back to the blow through mass air.
Yeah. So blow through mass airs are wrong. And there's two reasons. Number one, when you pressurize the tube, you change the calibration of the sensor. Number two, if you run a blow through mass air,
you cannot run the PCV breather system properly. You just can't. Because the breather has to be hooked up in between the mass air sensor and the throttle body so that you can meter the air going into the crankcase through the breather. But if you've got a blow through mass air, that tube is going to be pressurized. So when you go under boost, it's going to pressurize the crankcase. So there's no way to put the mass air and the breather in a proper location when you have a blow through mass air. It's just not possible. So what Koenigsegg did was, and to be honest with you, I haven't seen the exacts. I don't know the details of it, but they put a centrifugal supercharger. They were using the Rotrex superchargers, and they put the throttle body on the inlet of the supercharger, which a lot of times that's bad because let's say you have, if anybody's been on a dyno with a centrifugal supercharged vehicle, probably half of the cars that I tune, a pipe pops off at some point. A hose clamp comes loose, it just can't hold, and it pops off, right? Very common. If that happens on a car with the throttle body pre-turbo or pre-supercharger, now you have no throttle body. You've just got an open, and the car is just going to go wide open throttle, and it could very easily blow up.
Yeah.
So that's why you never run your throttle body pre-supercharger on a centrifugal. But they did it in such a way with specific clamps and whatnot that just would not come loose ever. I think they did hard mounting or something, and it made it.
I'm doing a video of the 2008 Koenigsegg.
Yeah.
And I need to look at that. I mean, the twin turbo. I call them turbos because they look like turbos, but they're not. They're centrifugal superchargers.
Centrifugal superchargers? Yeah.
Do you know how many? Like, how do they size those? Are those sized by millimeters, just like turbos? Or
well, you've got different compressors, different. There's. I don't think there's a real. Each manufacturer is going to have their designation. Vortec has their T trim, their J trim, their whatever. ProCharger has their P1SC, D1SC.
Yep.
So it's funny because the ProChargers, I never liked ProChargers. Their company originally started as heat pumps to de-ice airplanes. So they intentionally had very poor efficient compressors, which is why they always had really good intercoolers, because the compressor wheels weren't that efficient. So the P1SC is all the vanes on the turbo or on the supercharger are all straight cut. But you look at like a Vortec, and they're all the blades have an arc just like a turbocharger.
Well,
oh, go ahead, Al.
I want to say the wheels on the Rotec superchargers that are on the Koenigsegg, the upgraded ones are the ones I'm looking at. The wheels are the blades are pitched just like a turbo.
Yeah.
Like if you looked at it from the front, from the inlet side, it looks like a turbo. You can't tell.
There is, and that's it. It's a centrifugal supercharger is literally half of a turbocharger. So you take the exhaust housing off of a turbocharger, and you put the compressor side of a turbocharger to a gear drive, a step up gear drive, because your impeller speed of a turbo has to be going like 150,000 RPMs to really be in the sweet spot, depending on the size and whatever. But yeah, so you're talking about an engine that runs 7,000 RPMs, and you've got to step it up to 150,000 RPMs. So there's a gear ratio just in a belt drive itself. The crank gear is a lot larger than the pulley on the supercharger. Then they step that up inside the supercharger, which is what gives it the whine. But so centrifugals.
The centrifugals that I saw on the Koenigsegg, If I was to guess at it, looking at it as if it was a turbo, I would say it would be approximately 50 millimeter. They don't look that big. They're kind of small looking.
Well, you ever seen an EcoBoost turbo?
Yeah, they're like little.
Yeah, they're not-
They're like this big.
Yeah,
but
And let me tell you, I mean, EcoBoost turbos are absolutely phenomenal. So a lot of it deals with the efficiency of the wheel itself,
yep.
and how well that works. People talk about, you see it all. I see it all the time in my industry. People are like, "Oh, I've got an EcoBoost, and I've got the cold air kit, and I've got the piping, and I've got the exhaust, and I've got this and it." It's a torque-based ECU, which means the only thing that is going to give you horsepower in an EcoBoost vehicle is the tune. If you don't command more torque out of those cars,
Yeah,
it won't give it to you, no matter what you do. I mean, there's some things you can do to trick it. They make those boost devices that tap into your map sensor.
yeah.
But all you're doing, people don't realize that will, not only does it trick the map sensor into raising boost, but that map sensor is also your input for your air fuel ratio and your ignition timing.
So Matt, I want to.
Everything is based off of that. So you start tricking that. Not only do you raise boost, you also lean out your air fuel and dump a bunch of ignition timing in the car.
Matt, I'm sorry to interrupt you, James. This is a test. Matt, do you see the point in bringing James onto my other channel? Do you see what it's like?
Oh yeah, he's a wealth of knowledge, man. You know what's funny? Because Boss Man just sent me a text, said that Brails for Rides is live right now. He's like, go over to his live stream, which I was going to do, but then James started talking, and I like, I'm not a school person. I hated school, but when people start talking knowledge about stuff that I like to, let it go in, and soak up as much as I can. For sure.
Knowing James, I've known James for, I don't know, is it 2 years? It's like 2 years now. I know James. And
I'm horrible with time, yeah. Probably sounds about right.
When the engine, I mean, I knew James before the engine let go in my car, right?
Yeah.
Because I met him at Steeder when we were doing the suspension work months before I put the blower on it. And I had enough, just talking to him when he was tuning on other cars there. It's like, this guy is talking about stuff that, I mean, I retained some of it. I have a basic understanding after talking to him about what he's talking about. I could never repeat it. I could never.
Oh, no.
Level of confidence that he has because of the knowledge and education that he has.
It's like going from a regular algebra class and jumping into somebody's trigonometry class. And he's teaching that class, and they're like, okay, soak all this up. You know what I mean?
For us, we'll never be tuners. Even there are some mechanics. Like I know some guys in town who are mechanics, and they think that they're tuners.
Yeah.
No, you're not a tuner. You might be able to pull something up and get the fuel ratio right and get it to idle, but that's about it. A tuner is a tuner, a guy who knows.
Let me tell you, when I started with SCT, I had a degree in automotive technology. I went to school specifically for automotive technology. I got my ASE master certifications, and I have been working in the field already for over 10 years.
That helps.
That gave me a huge foundation, not only being an automotive enthusiast and working on my own stuff and building my own cars and, but once I went to work for SCT, I thought I knew everything, I thought I knew a lot. I knew I didn't know everything, but when I went to work for SCT and I started reading the books and talking to the people, it was like, I mean, it was completely different level, not only a completely different level of knowledge, but a completely different way of looking at things.
Yep.
And it was, I mean, it's just having that automotive background really helps. A lot of these tuners you see out there nowadays, it looks like I'm a little shorter than everybody else there.
It's all right.
But no, a lot of the other tuners in the industry, they were enthusiasts, and they had their own car, and they bought the Pro Racer package, and they started tuning on their own car, and bam, now I'm a tuner.
Yeah.
And you can learn stuff, you can pick stuff up, but I've always been one of those guys that, you know, I've worked into dealerships, I've worked flat rate. I never made any money working flat rate, because anytime a car would come in with a broken component, yeah, okay, it's broken, let me replace it. But why did it fail?
Yeah.
Why is this part broken? And I would sit there and I would start pulling stuff apart and trying to figure out what the engineers were thinking when they designed this part, and how could they improve this part, and whatever. So that's always been a big thing with me, is the understanding of why things are the way that they are. And that's
something that I remember talking to James about a while back, was that a good tuner is a guy who works and does tuning only. Somebody who thinks that they're going to be a mechanic, run a shop, manage a crew, work on cars themselves, and be a top flight tuner at the same time. Those two wires you can't cross. If you're going to be a really, really good tuner, you have to focus and be laser focused on tuning only.
Yeah.
Then you
it
need.
Used to be in the late 90s, well, I'll say 2000 to 2010, you could you could be a tuner and work on the cars yourself. Nowadays, like
the technology.
It's too
yeah,
complicated.
the technologies. We'll start with, like, if you guys know computers at all, you know, file sizes, even like sizes of songs on your phone, right?
This is how much I know about computers.
We'll start with the very, very old Fox body Mustang computers, right? Let's say like a 86 SVO. I think it was a 56K processor, 56 kilobytes worth of information. Then they went like the 93s, they were like an 88K. The 96, 97 cars were a 112K. My Mach 1 was a 216K. So all throughout that year, I mean, 216K, it's a lot of information, but it's not ridiculous. The car on the wall behind you, 2 meg.
Really?
So it just went up by a factor of 10.
Yeah.
So
add another couple zeros.
Yeah. So there's processors out there that are 4 meg.
Wow.
You can't just take, I mean, some of the EcoBoost stuff, you know, you look at, and if you've ever looked at a standalone program for tuning a car, you see the spark table. You've got your load versus your RPM, and you go in your cells and you figure out where your ignition timing is. Well, just about any car is going to have tables like that, where you've got an X and a Y axis, and, you know, load, some way of calculating load, either manifold pressure or throttle position, or in the case of Fords, it's usually volumetric efficiency that they're using as the Y normalizer. Your X normalizer is RPM. That car behind you, I think, has 28 of those tables just in the borderline category.
Sure.
There's an MBT category that has another 29 tables. Then there's max allows and minimums, and for cold start, and for modifier for air charge temp, and modifier for coolant temp. And you can't go into the tune and just say, oh, look, this table says 10 degrees. I'm going to get 10 degrees at the crank. That's not how it works. It has to flow through 10, 20 different modifiers.
Yeah.
And then, is it using this table, or is it using that table? Or is it blending table 18 and 24? You know,
it's almost like you're not tuning just the car and the engine. You're tuning these specific ranges, literally each step the way up. If I'm saying that correctly, where
I was doing,
okay, I see what you're saying.
the first times, and your speed density stuff, mass air cars are, I'm not going to say they're easy, but they're easier to tune than speed density vehicles. So your EcoBoost, if you did camshafts in an EcoBoost,
Yeah.
just don't even bother.
Yeah.
You're going to be on a dyno forever trying to get your air. I did one of the first Whipple superchargers I did on an F-150 without a calibration, without anything from Whipple to start with. They had the blower out, but they didn't have the tuning out yet.
Yeah.
So I had to tune this thing from scratch. The first one I did took me like 3 weeks.
Matt, can you imagine him having to write a tune from scratch as
Yeah.
opposed to having a base Whipple tune to
There
work?
are, when you look at a table, you're usually like 10 by 10 cells or something, right? 10 times 10 is 100 cells. So an air fuel table is going to be 100 cells, right? One of the Edelbrock PCMs that I did was 144 cells. That is a pain in the ass to begin with. The way the Ford does their speed density calculations, I think on this vehicle there were 1,764 sampling points.
You mean for this car?
For anything with TI VCT.
Oh, okay.
Wile E. Coyote.
Well, you got TI VCT, and then you got TI VCT with IMRCs. So that car doesn't have IMRCs, so it's going to simplify things. It's not going to use all 29 of those tables,
Gotcha.
but it is going to be a little complicated. What you
So let
doing?
me ask you a quick question, James.
Come say hi.
When I emailed
London.
Lund, they told me that, for almost any tune that I want to put on this car, any tune besides the stock one, that I'm going to need to get a catless system, because they said any more power that's being put to that car than currently what's on there now. They said this car even shouldn't have cats the way it sits now. But it has to be legal in 50 states. They said if you try to add any more power to that car with the cat still on there, that it causes the cats to get clogged, which in turn will give problems to the engine. So I'm sure there's some credence to that.
Yeah. I'm gonna answer that with a story.
Okay. Let me get my
Years
popcorn.
ago, years ago, I heard a story. I don't know if this is true. This is just what I heard. Shelby Automotive had a guy that they referred to as 200-mile-per-hour Bob.
Okay.
And his job was to take the original GT500 to 200 miles an hour, back to 0, to 200 miles an hour to 0, to 200 miles an hour to 0, to 200 miles an hour to 0, in an effort to try and melt the cats. That was his job.
Wow.
And the rumor that I heard was that they went through, I think, 6 sets of catalytic converters before they got the calibration right, that they could release the car without melting the cats.
Okay.
So to answer your question, can you increase power without melting the cats? I don't think it's going to be as simple as a yes or a no. There's inherently always something you can do to help and to try and keep the cats from melting. There's also a level of, well, when you say that the cats are going to melt, what will it take to melt a cat? Okay, so can I complete a dyno pull without melting the cats, but I can't do a quarter mile? Or maybe I can do a quarter mile without melting the cats, but I can't go a full half mile.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's catalytic converters are something that fail with heat over time. So a lot of times your cats will survive a dyno tune, but they won't survive a quarter mile pass.
Or just being ripped on the street repeatedly.
A lot of times a street pull is worse than a quarter mile pass.
Oh yeah.
You see some of these videos.
Do you see the I put up. That's why I put them up to get your
They
attention.
still, yeah, they still haven't cracked the trans tune on a GT5 yet. I
Yeah.
think, yeah, I think the trans is available.
Well,
I'm
yes and
working
no.
with,
From what I heard, it's partially cracked, not fully.
well, any calibration is partially cracked.
Yeah.
It's kind of a misnomer that when you have a tune file or you have tuning software that you have everything you need to tune a car.
Yeah.
My MKZ, I'm tuning that car currently with SET and HB tuners. Because, for example, HB tuners does not have the ability to change my idle speed. But they have parameters that don't exist in SCT. So I have to use both platforms at the moment to get everything that I need to tune that car properly.
You mean both platforms at the same time?
And when you
And
say
so-
that car, you mean this car?
No, his Fusion.
No, my MKZ.
MKZ.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
So basically, the way it comes, remember I said the tune file is 2 meg, right?
Yeah.
Well, do you have any idea how many parameters 2 meg worth of information is in hexadecimal? It's an expletive ton.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
but most of it is background stuff that you would never need to have access to.
Gotcha.
A lot of it deals with, well, this pin reads voltage of this sensor and that's your input to this table. So they don't need to decrypt all that kind of stuff, right? They
Yeah.
only give you access to the tables that you're going to need to work with. So a lot of this new development on new platforms, a lot of that is going to entail going in and, okay, well, this is what I know I need. I know I need my spark. I know I need my fuel. I know I need my torque limits. I know I need this grouping of parameters. And then what's going to happen is you're going to get the car on the dyno and you're going to start tuning it and you're going to hit a wall. And it's what I refer to, especially on EcoBoost. EcoBoost is a pain in the ass to tune sometimes. You hit what I call the where's Waldo. Okay. So I know I'm hitting a limit and the limit I'm hitting has a value of whatever. Now I got to go through the software and play Where's Waldo. I know what Waldo looks like, and I've got 50 million pages of
Let's find him.
values that I got to find Waldo, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of this that goes on, especially in EcoBoost, and EcoBoost has multiple redundant tables and whatnot. And it makes it really difficult to find everything that you need. And then sometimes the values just aren't there. For the first few years with SCT, and I'll be honest with you, HB Tuners has come out with a lot of stuff that they have that SCT doesn't.
Gotcha.
So that's why HB Tuners, and Eric, one of the guys who works at HB Tuners, you can message him, and I've had him hit stuff within an hour. I had a GT500 with a Whipple on it one time, and I was hitting one of these limiters, a temperature-based limiter, and I couldn't get the car to pull over 7,900 RPMs. And I messaged him, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I think I know what you're dealing with. Yeah, give me an hour." I went, I got lunch, I came back, I did an update to the software, reread the car, and bam, there it was.
Wow. All right, hey Al, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
Wow. Now I'm getting feedback.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
weird.
like I say, this was just a test. This is, on the most part, what it's going to be like. This looks like the final version of it. James, I think your bandwidth is better in the house.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and because of that, I think the video is a little bit better too. Didn't work too well on your phone,
Yeah.
because that feedback. But and my computer and my audio was working better too. So this looks like it. So when we decide to go live on Coyote Car Guy, James, maybe what we'll do is I'll just coordinate with you privately first, and then just go on, and there we are, and wait for people to come in. I think over there are a few more people. Nobody knows this,
Yeah. Okay.
Ready. Next.
Yeah, what's that? Somebody having an earthquake right now?
Why? What noise?
It sounds like wind noise.
Yeah, I just turned the fan on.
Yeah. That's
That's my
So,
cooling system.
so
It's
Mike's,
specifically not tuned by James.
Mike's Fest is observing exactly what I'm trying to portray. Is bring Tuning by James on the channel and just let him talk, because and there'll be questions. James, this is one other thing, is that I put that one question on screen, and when I do that, that's a question for you to answer.
Okay.
So whatever you're into, whatever conversation you're into, you'll be diverted to the question, because we're trying to engage the audience as much as we are trying to talk to the audience.
Sure.
So that's one thing that's very, very important that I've learned with YouTube, is that when the audience is there and they're asking for attention, you got to give it to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this seems pretty simple. If I have the opportunity that people come into the basement and I want to put them in to verbally, like directly ask you a question, I'm going to try that. I don't know how that's going to work, but that's worth a try. I can see that if there's a ton of questions flying by in the comments, because that could happen. There's no way I'm going to be able to coordinate that. To pick the question that passed by 20 comments ago and then connect that question to the guy who just came to the basement. That's going to be hard to do, because one end is way faster than the other.
One quick thing, James, just one quick thing. So a lot of times these questions that'll pop up, James will probably literally be able to stop whatever it is he's talking about, give them a probably simple answer, unless it's a very unsimple question. Hey, this is what you would need to do, or no, that won't work for that application type of deal, and then go back to track down what he was doing before.
Right.
But obviously you're going to get some questions that need some detailed answers, I'm sure.
Well, I'll tell you what. One thing that's really good about people, if people start asking questions, because they're going to do that, James. I can see when they start listening to you talk, everybody's got a question about their tune or whatever it is. We know not to bash anybody. It's like, don't even go there. You got a question? I don't know what to say about that tuner. I hear they're pretty good, but this is what I have to offer.
Yeah.
And then go on to say whatever.
I'm sure he knows that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, I got to get out of here, Al. Like I said, I got to hop over by Brailsford. James, you're a wealth of knowledge, man. Like I said, every time you start talking, all I want to do is go like this. I'm not kidding. There's not many people that I do that with, so that's for sure.
Cool. I appreciate it.
No problem. No problem. And then Al, like I said, I'll be over in Brailsford if you get down here, if you want to hop over there.
Okay, I'll check that out.
All right, guys. You guys have a good night.
All right, you too, Matt. See you later.
I bet.
So I think Mike Stupid Fast is still in here. If you want to come in, Mike, come on in. If it's not your gig, I understand. James and I are just getting used to this. That's what this is. And you can see, James, from what we did the last time. You see how much better it is now? Just a couple of little things from coming here. The bandwidth at the shop isn't that good. You're much better off doing it at home.
I think a lot of it was the lighting too. I know I don't have the best camera on this laptop, but the rest of the laptop works great.
Yeah. Well, another thing that we could do, because I'm planning on doing this Sunday night, if that works for you. If not, we'll put it off for another time. We'll do it later Sunday night. It doesn't matter. I'd like to do it Sunday in the evening. And just, for you to come in, I could have you come in just for as long as you want to be there. You don't have to stay for as long as I'm on. And then I'll sign off. Like you'll sign off and say, we'll see you next time. Maybe in a week or two, we'll be back up. Because I know some people, this is what's going to happen. Some people are going to see that on Sunday for the first time. And if you say, maybe I'll be back next Sunday or whatever, I'll be back next time, another week or two, there's going to be people talking behind the scenes wanting to come in. Like if I see my subscribers start to pick up, that would be the reason why, because they hear from you. And this is also very good for you, because if you have something that you can hang on the wall or a T-shirt that shows your
that would be great. I've got a couple things I could probably. I hate to put holes in the wall here, but If I can get back into my office, but the problem that I had was we've been using this room for storage, and so my office, we had to move all of the stuff that we were storing in this room into my office so that we could come in here with the cat. So I'm kind of
See what Mike said?
James, you might have James' contact info in his title. That would, yeah, that would work. My Facebook page. Don't go to my website. My website belongs in a museum. Go to my Facebook page.
Yeah. So
But,
even if that's on the wall behind you or whatever. However, it's
well, I don't know what I'm going to do because, I mean, even at this point, literally, we are leaving for my parents at probably 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and I will be getting home at probably 7 o'clock Sunday. So I'm not going to have a whole lot of time to do much of anything. I might be able to grab. I've got my buddy's Fusion. I've got that I can hang on the wall here. I got a couple other things, but honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to have time for that. Or I may just bring the laptop out into the garage and do it in the garage.
right.
So
Another thing I'm going to do with this particular live stream on Coyote Car Guy, I'm not going to take it down. On Smokey's Lightning, these bullshit things that we do, I don't leave them up. This is just for us. But I'm going to leave on Coyote Car Guy, I'm going to leave them up. That I have the opportunity to type into the title anything I want, and I can change it anytime I want. So I could put in there whatever you want, James, your Instagram, your Facebook, or your YouTube channel, or whatever it is that you want. And I have a feeling that this is something that will do quite well because tuning, a tuner that is willing to talk to the level that you do, because you can talk generic stuff, which sounds like royal inside information to most people.
There's certain things that I won't discuss. Certain, how I do what I do in the computer.
Yeah.
The proprietary stuff that I've spent countless hours learning on the dyno and learning with cars and whatever. So I'm not going to tell you what table to adjust and what numbers to put in what table, but the overall theory about how things work, like EcoBoost being all torque based, that's something, because so many people buy parts thinking that they're going to make tons of power and they don't need them. The parts don't do anything.
No, it's in the calibration.
Everything without changing the calibration. And I mean, I see dyno sheets all the time, and I'm like, oh, look at this dyno sheet. Oh, look, that cold air kit on the EcoBoost picked up 20 horsepower. No, it didn't. You did a cool down. you put more air in the tires, I know the tricks to get more horsepower on a dyno. But yeah, it's crazy how people do this. Or what they'll do is they'll bolt a part on and they'll just show the first pull. Well, what's going to happen is the computer, it may overshoot its torque target on the first pull, and then it's going to realize, hey, wait a second, I'm making too much torque. It's going to start backing itself out.
It corrects itself.
So it's not going to have that much torque long term. It's only going to be one or two pulls until it learns that it needs to back itself off. So that's one of the reasons that when I put my MKZ on the dyno, I didn't change a thing. It still got the paper air filter in it. It still put down 450 wheel.
Yeah. That video on the other channel, a lot of people are interested. It doesn't have a lot of views yet, but it gets views every single day. I have other videos that I put up that it'll get a whole bunch of views, like lots of views in the first week, and then it dies and it's over. But that video is just one of those steady Eddie kind of ones that
I might put a link to that video on my Facebook page. I've got, but like I said, I mean, I really wasn't planning on being on this for too long, because I think I had 5 more orders come in today that need to go out tonight. And I only got 45 minutes left in the day, technically.
Yeah. I'll let you go, because I know you're busy and I know you like to talk. And this is what happens is that you get talking and then you use up all your time. So it's like I have to cut you short because I know that that's what you
Yeah.
need to happen. But so let's wrap this one up for tonight. Mike, Stupid Fast, thanks for coming in. All
Yep,
right,
thank you.
and thanks again, Mike, for helping me with the computer. See how nice it works. I
Yeah.
still have the other one, and that's a good backup. But this one's golden. So we're gonna call it a wrap, James. I'll be in touch. Hopefully, we can get up maybe 8:30 or something like that Sunday night. We'll talk. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll keep you up to date. It looks like I got to stop in Stewart and grab Marcelino's car and get it out of the dyno. It's in the way there, so
Yeah.
I'll have to play it by ear and keep you up to date and let you know what time I'm going to be home.
Okay, good. All right, take it easy. Take it easy, James. We'll talk to
Yep.
all you guys later.
All right. Have
All
a
right.
good one.
Have a great night.